For weeks now, we have shoved in your beautiful faces our top 10 newcomer characters for the Super Smash Bros. Game coming to Nintendo Switch. 3 times. And you know what? We still aren't done. We have 10 final newcomer characters that we would love to see in Smash. Not to say we'll be done with top 10 Smash videos after this one, but we'll go into more detail a little later. For now, let's get this final list started. And to save you your invaluable time, no! Goku is not on this list. Stop asking for him! The Legend of Zelda series has always been well represented in Super Smash Bros. However, since Melee, there have only been a total of 4 characters from this beloved franchise: Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, and a younger Link. Even our Zelda character recommendations these past few videos have been of different incarnations of either Zelda or Ganondorf. Now it's time to bring in a new fighter from Hyrule, specifically the Sheikah warrior herself, Impa. While we rarely got to see her skill set in the mainline games, there's no doubt that she kicks some serious ass. And this was all the more confirmed with Hyrule Warriors, where she wielded a gargantuan blade that would make even Cloud piss himself. This incarnation of Impa would be ideal, but this could also serve as an opportunity for the team at HAL Laboratory to get even more creative. Design a new Impa that takes inspiration from her appearances in Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, and Hyrule Warriors, along with maybe an original moveset. Her being a Sheik clone would just be disrespectful. Even though there are other options for new Zelda characters, like the Champions, there is no greater candidate than Impa, whose spirit has aided Link and Zelda since the beginning of time. With the indie game scene as big as it's ever been, perhaps Super Smash Bros. Could cash in on some of that action. We already recommended Shovel Knight in our first top 10 list, but another character that makes even more sense would be Shantae, the half-genie hero. After all, she did start out on a Nintendo console, the Game Boy Color, and was later revived on the Nintendo DSi with Risky's Revenge. She may not be as recognizable of a character as Shovel Knight, but there is no denying her legacy. Using her ponytail whip and her various transformations, she could be a serious threat on the battlefield. Admittedly, even in a series as unpredictable as Smash Bros., we don't know how high her chances are at being included in the Smash roster. Though, we hope Sakurai considers our recommendation. We know you're watching, Daddy. I mean, Mr. Sakurai. You better know this next contender's name, because it's Ashley. Like, probably the second most common name in the English language. Except this Ashley is a literal witch. In a world where we got the frickin' Duck Hunt dog as a playable character in the latest Smash, Ashley would honestly be one of the least crazy additions. She's already a trophy after all. With her being a witch, she would of course be a spellcaster similar to Robin. But wait, she's from WarioWare, right? Yeah, this is definitely going to get weird. She would probably be designed in a way similar to Wario, albeit with way less farts and more zany fighting moves. And I can't help but get that catchy Ashley theme song stuck in my head. Okay, maybe not that. That's better. Shadow the Hedgehog is the ultimate life form in the Sonic universe. He also tends to cut himself on all that edge. Seriously, 2005 was a weird year. Of course, Shadow is slowly but surely redeeming himself by avoiding guns and motorcycles and by pretending his weird-ass backstory never happened. Sonic Team seems to realize that Shadow is a fan favorite with the episode Shadow DLC in Sonic Forces, and he is already an assist trophy in the last 2 Smash games. An appearance in Smash for Switch isn't that unlikely. However, he can't be a Sonic clone. He can share Sonic's speed and regular punches and kicks, but Shadow is a completely different beast. For one, he uses Chaos Control to warp and fire projectiles. Shadow deserves to have the same redemption as Little Mac, by coming back as a fully fledged character and not an assist trophy. Also, a Chaos Blast Final Smash is just too obvious. Unless they want to pretend 2005 never happened, which it didn't. It doesn't matter how well this game sold or not. You know that we're gonna see more Kid Icarus Uprising representation in Super Smash Bros. For Switch than is really necessary. But hey, it's Sakurai's baby, so we totally understand. After the likes of Pit, Dark Pit for some reason, and Lady Palutena, who else could join in on the fun? Hades? Nah. Medusa? Keep dreaming. How about Eggplant Wizard? Oh, how I wish. We're thinking of the goddess of nature, Viridi, who is somehow 8 years old. Still, we share similar viewpoints on the human race, so she's cool with me. Viridi, much like Palutena, would also require some innovation in terms of her special skills and moveset. Fortunately, we're certain that Sakurai has already thought of each Kid Icarus character as a Smash Bro already. Even the Eggplant Wizard. Was I really the only one who voted for him in the Smash ballot? Anyway, Viridi is one of the most memorable characters from Kid Icarus Uprising, thanks to her attitude that we should hate, but just can't. Of course, her final smash would be the infamous Reset Bomb from the Reset Bomb Forest. But would that hurt the chances of that stage returning in Smash Switch? We have many questions. How does this keep happening? Everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, I somehow manage to run into that little mechanical face that just won't seem to go away. I'm talking about Chibirobo, the robot who seems to have an even worse battery life than my Android phone. Probably because of the many questionable websites I visited, but we're not talking about that. Though, it's been a while since we've seen Chibirobo, he still exists as an amiibo, and more importantly, a meme. Remember when Nintendo America tweeted out this PNG with no context the day before the mini-direct? Such an image still burns in my retinas to this day. I'm quite certain it gave me sleep apnea. But all of this is ignoring the big question. Will Chibirobo have to recharge himself during a Smash Bros. Fight? The only way we'll find out is if he makes it in the game. Do it, Sakurai. Your fans deserve to know. That, and if you're a vampire. Look at how well this man is aged. Seriously. Are you kidding us? Another Fire Emblem character? First and foremost, Lindis or Lyn is not a Fire Emblem character, but the Fire Emblem character that, along with Martha and Roy, introduced us Westerners to this deep and intricate tactical RPG series. With that being said, Lyn as a Lord and Swordsmaster would be a unique character who, in many ways, represents traditional old-style permadeath Fire Emblem. This is tied to the fact that she has appeared in the Blazing Blade, Awakening DLC, Heroes, and most recently, Fire Emblem Warriors. As such, she would have both the history and actuality to be a perfect newcomer inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Switch along the protagonists in Fire Emblem Switch. Mostly because, despite being another sword character, she has some individual traits, like high speed and good evasion skills that can help her stand out on the battlefield. As to who she would replace, we know you will hate this, but either Lucina or Roy, as we need more female characters in Super Smash Bros. I think it's about time we acknowledge the elephant in the room. It's no secret that a lot of you were talking some smack about my girl Pauline way back in the first top 10 episode. So, she can't be in Smash because she isn't a fighter, huh? Then explain this! My man, Villager, was only known for fishing and pulling weeds, but when he got that Smash invitation, he unleashed his true beast. And if this so-called innocent boy had this inside him all along, then imagine the rage built up inside the likes of Isabel for having to watch my town while I was on a mere 9-month vacation. Or better yet, how does Tom Nook feel knowing I haven't paid an ounce of my mortgage back in that same time frame? I bet they're feeling just a little heated. Maybe they need to take out their anger on Villager and another 50-something Nintendo characters in Super Smash Bros. For Switch. We would love to see both, but if we had to pick one, Isabel is probably the wiser choice. She was in Mario Kart 8 as a DLC character, and look at that face though. I feel like we've been down this road before. Speaking of Sakurai's babies, Kirby. So far we have the true Kirby ensemble of the Pink Marshmallow himself, then Meta Knight, then King Dedede. Or is it the full ensemble? The answer is no, as we are missing the greatest bandana sporter since Rambo, Bandana D. With bandana on head and spear in hand, nothing can stop this ally of Kirby. Except maybe Kirby. I get very confused about the allegiance of Kirby characters. It's like one minute they're bad guys, and the next they're not. Like, come on guys, pick a side already. Truth be told, he's this high on our list because he's one of the most likely to appear, and because we need just a little more Kirby representation in Smash. It's not like we won't get it, however, because Sakurai created Kirby to begin with. Though he didn't create Fire Emblem, and yet, here we are. Super Smash Bros. 4 gave us Mega Man, and for the love of God, Sakurai, you need to keep him for Super Smash Bros. Switch. But do you know what would be even better? If we could get X representation. And since we already have Mega Man, wouldn't it make perfect sense to have Megaman X as our newcomer? Or wouldn't it? Since if there is one thing we don't need in Smash Switch, then it is another clone character. So here is our and many others' suggestion. Zero as Dr. Wily's greatest masterpiece and Mega Man X's ultimate badass in the hunt after the Mavericks and Sigma would be the perfect newcomer for Super Smash Bros. Switch. Mostly because he would be an ideal representative for the SNES era with Mega Man X1, 2, and 3, and with the Advance era Zero series under his belt. If that wasn't enough, both of the first and second Mega Man X Legacy collections are coming to the Nintendo Switch this summer. Implementing Zero into a Smash Warrior should be a breeze, since he had quite the sword and cannon-based moveset in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinite, which just needs a few updates and tweaks to unleash devastating force on opponents in Super Smash Bros. Switch. Oh, and we need music and stages from Mega Man X's awesome library. And there you have it. Our 10 final newcomer character suggestions for Super Smash Bros. Switch. Over the last 8 weeks, we have delivered on 40 potential newcomers that we see as worthy fighters. And despite this being the last episode on Suggest Newcomer Characters, we still have 2 character-based specials coming in May, as a build-up to Nintendo's E3 2018 and the Great Smash Invitational Tournament. So, make sure to smash that like button, comment your favorite newcomer characters below, and if you are new, subscribe and press the bell to turn on notifications for our future uploads every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We are getting closer and closer to the 150,000 subscriber milestone, and when we reach that, we will launch our limited edition collection. A great shout out goes also to Artsy Omni and the Smashified team, as we used some of their renders in this video. Finally, we want to thank all our gracious patrons, and in particular, Royal Producer Kenyatta Ali, for their financial support. You too can join the Protectors of the Realm and claim our custom metal pin by heading over to patreon.com/commonrealm. Until the next video, remember to settle it in Smash.